I'm going to go ahead and call the regular City Council meeting of October 13th, 2025 to order. Roll call, please.
Zazada.
Here.
Larson.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Carlson.
Here.
Powell.
Here.
Verbic.
Here.
Walker.
Here.
Mayor Barnes.
Here.
8 present.
All right, now moving on to the pledge. Captain Hy-Vee, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Thank you, Mr. Gentry. Good luck tonight. All right, moving on to agenda item C, approval of the agenda. I would take a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderman Verbic. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Larson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Verbic.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Zazada.
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. The agenda has been approved. I'd be remiss also to not remind council, if you can, speak into the microphone as much as possible for those at home. I get reminded of that often when I'm out and about, so just a friendly reminder. All right, moving on to agenda item D, presentations. We have 2 proclamations. The first one is for the Cook Mansion Historic Recognition Day. So whereas the City of DeKalb celebrates and preserves its rich architectural and cultural heritage, recognizing the importance of historic properties in shaping our community's identity, and the residence known as the President John Williston Cook Mansion, located at 411 College Avenue, has been officially approved for inclusion on the National Register of Historic Places, following a rigorous application process and multiple rounds of review by the Illinois Historic Preservation Division. And this designation honors the architectural integrity and historical significance of the Cook Mansion, once home to the esteemed president of Northern Illinois State Normal School, and reflects the homeowner's commitment to stewardship, legacy, and civic pride. And the installation of a bronze plaque at the corner of the lot will serve as a lasting symbol of this achievement, inspiring neighbors and future generations to value and protect DeKalb's historic assets. Now therefore, I, Cohen Barnes, Mayor of the City of DeKalb, Illinois, by the authority vested in the office on behalf of the City of DeKalb, do hereby proclaim October 13th, 2025 as Cook Mansion Historic Recognition Day in honor of the listing of President John Williston Cook Mansion on the National Historic Register of Historic Places. Let's give a round of applause for these guys. And I believe we have some representatives. The homeowners here? Is that correct? Come on up. We're going to do a group shot if you don't mind. So I know the family has put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this particular property, and this is the culminating event to be recognized as a historic place. So again, greatly appreciate all the work you've done, taking the time to do this, and preserving one of the assets of DeKalb. Thank you very much. All right, then we have another proclamation for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, October 2025. So, whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month calls attention to the fact that domestic violence is widespread and impacts every person in this community, and domestic violence and intimate partner violence impacts our community, and statistics show every 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men in the United States have experienced rape, physical violence, and/or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime. And in the United States, intimate partner violence results in nearly 1,300 deaths every year. More than 3 women are killed by their intimate partner every day. The theme of this year's Domestic Violence Awareness Month campaign is Love Shouldn't Hurt. The campaign calls on new partners and community members to help expand domestic violence prevention and awareness efforts to ensure the next generation fosters attitudes that promote healthy relationships, equality, and respect. Now therefore, I, Cohen Barnes, Mayor of the City of DeKalb, Illinois, by the authority vested in the office, join Safe Passage and advocates across the country in taking action to prevent domestic violence, and do hereby proclaim the month of October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the City of DeKalb, reminding everyone that each day of this year is an opportunity to create change for the future. What I would ask everyone present is, there's so many people in our community that work tirelessly to reduce domestic violence and do everything they can to break the cycle that's in so many of our families here throughout our community. And if you can imagine the day-to-day experiences these people have, and the hearts that they must have, and the perspective that they must have, I can't even imagine that as not just a career choice, but as a calling. So if y'all don't mind, let's give a round of applause for all of them. And everyone here to support Domestic Violence Month, if you want to come up to the front, we'll do another group photo. Sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good. All right, we're gonna do 2 cameras, so.
Stay still.
Don't run away. Freeze. All right, first one, 3, 2, 1. Three, two, one. Very good, thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, and I let everyone know, if you were here for any of the proclamations, feel free to go about your day. I know so many of you are busy, and I don't know if there's too much exciting stuff on this agenda to want to stick around. Although we have some dedicated diehards out there, I know, that love it all. All right, moving on then to agenda item E, public participation. We have Ray Gentleclore. If you want to come on up here, Ray.
Happy Christopher Columbus Day to all of you. Does the city have a program for elderly and snow removal? Other towns do. We have an ordinance that states sidewalks must be cleaned off each snowfall. Elderly people clear their driveway and sidewalks. It's a heart attack waiting to happen. You got money for everything else, why not the elderly? Give them a break and put them on a program. The city removes snow off the driveway and sidewalks. They are at a fixed income. It's time to take care of the elderly and not abuse them. You men and women of city council, you need to start taking care of the elderly. Don't ignore them. Again, other towns do take care of the elderly. Why not DeKalb? Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Don't forget what we talked about.
I will,
Thank you.
or I won't forget. All right, moving on to agenda item F, appointments. We have none, which leads us to agenda item G, consent agenda. 1, minutes of the regular city council meeting of September 22nd, 2025. 2, accounts payable and payroll through October 13th, 2025, in the amount of $5,714,734.99. 3, investment and bank balance summary through August 2025. 4, year-to-date revenues and expenditures through August 2025. 5, crime-free housing bureau report, September 2025. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as is?
So moved.
Second. Moved by Alderman Powell, seconded by Alderman Carlson. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Zazada.
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8-8.
The consent agenda has been approved. Moving on to agenda item H, public hearings. I'm going to go ahead and call this public hearing to order at 6:10. It is a public hearing regarding the First Amendment to an annexation agreement as it pertains to a donation of property for the DeKalb Transit Center. At this time, if there's anyone in attendance that wants to speak to this item, you can come up to the microphone. Seeing none, council, do you have any comments or questions? We're going to discuss this later as an agenda item too. Hearing none. City manager, do you have anything for the public hearing?
No, we'll have an opportunity later on. to
Correct.
talk about this.
All right, at this point, then I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:10. Moving on to agenda item I, considerations. 1, consideration of revised proposal for the reconfiguration of the intersection at North First Street and Sycamore Road. City manager, what's
I do
going on?
have something to say about this. Well, back at first meeting in January, start off the new year, we did a number of things as we do every year at the beginning of the fiscal year. But there was one item on the agenda that was certainly newsworthy at the time, and that was a contract for engineering services with WBK to design a reconfiguration of the intersection at North First Street and Sycamore Road. And that in itself might not have caught a lot of attention, but the possibility of a roundabout there overlapping the south end of the Clinton Rosette Middle School property did. And that's something that continued to engender a lot of conversation in the last 8+ months. The city staff and the engineering firm, which by the way was hired with the assistance of an IDOT safety grant, which required that the city pay 10% and that ultimately, if there was some kind of improvement, not necessarily a roundabout, that then the grant, all of the grant would come into play, and there would also be a grant with the same 90/10 spending break that would attach to the actual construction. So we wanted to keep at it. WBK came through a number of different roundabouts scenarios. Initially it was just the pure circle, and then it became something like an oblong shape to try to minimize the amount of land that might be involved on the Clinton Rosette site. But in the end, there seemed to be a fair amount of public concern about it, not necessarily resistance, but public concern. And we were at a point where, in the actual engineering grant, where we thought it was important to come up at least with one sound alternative, and what would that be? And we determined that something like what you have before you tonight for conversation and some direction, hopefully, might be that alternative. So the roundabout is not featured in this. There is in the background a reference to a very early conceptual plan from circa, say, early February that did show an oblong roundabout. There's no roundabout in what's going to be discussed here tonight. And I want to, if you'll indulge me, just walk you, we'll go south first and then we'll come back north. Moving south is, since this is a Y at the south end of the Clinton Rosette property, is something that involves two streets, the continuation of First Street going north, obviously, and then also where First Street splays off to become the route of Sycamore Road, which then takes you up to Illinois Route 23. So let's stick on the south side, and let's stay on Sycamore Road. As you enter Sycamore, this section of Sycamore Road from Illinois Route 23 as it makes the sweeping curve to the north, you're heading south and you won't see any remarkable change. The houses on the south side of the road will continue to enjoy either left turns or right turns out of their properties. The 145 Fisk property, which is allowed to have a right in and right out, would continue to have a right in, right out, as shown in the background for tonight's meeting. As you get to the intersection, excuse me, the same axis for pedestrian crossing would be there. There are two shown in your mock-up in your background. One is going north and south, and it takes you from the south side of that intersection north into the Clinton Rosette property. And if you happen to be on the west side of the street, on the Elwood House side, you can cross under the protection of a signal. And the only change you would really see, well, two changes. One is there's a slight bend to try to get closer, never get close to a 90 degree, which is the safest you can have. But we go from about a 30 degree to, depends on which side you're standing on, but we're going to slide it just slightly, and it actually then closes the intersection. So the pedestrian, say you've been at 145 Fisk and you want to walk out, and then you want to cross the street and go over to the Clinton Rosette property, that distance is just a little bit shorter. Right now, there's a raised median and a pole signal there. Not the safest thing, not a great refuge if you're looking to cross. What would eventually be done here, and probably the greatest expense of all, would be only mast arm traffic signals so that you get away from that pole situation, which in those people who drive this on a regular basis, particularly in inclement weather and in cold weather, have probably seen cars slide through that intersection going northbound. So here's a diminished opportunity to hit anything, including pedestrians, but certainly not a pole signal anymore. Okay, so we got there. We got to that point, and before we head further south, let's go on First Street, and we're coming from the First Street Bridge now, moving south. As you know, First Street, as you're cutting across Hillcrest, has a I'm going to go back and maybe give this its due. If you're southbound on First Street and you've come to the light at Hillcrest, which you know is also a school crossing, and there are crossing guards there are two there. You can make a left turn or you can go straight. So there are two southbound lanes, there are two northbound lanes. Those two southbound lanes merge as you get into the bridge to really just a very wide one lane. People aren't trying to pass or create two lanes there. But as you start heading south beyond that point, and you're passing Clinton Rosette, you're aware that the road that the striped median, the striped center line, excuse me, not median, is now indicating that you can make a left turn onto Sycamore Road. And it also widens to the point where you can have two southbound lanes. That doesn't change. You can still make the turn on Sycamore Road. By the way, there aren't many of those turns that are made in the course of the day. According to the traffic study that was done here a couple years ago, the total is 19 on average a day. But if you're heading south and you realize, oh, I really want to go to that side, you have the opportunity to do that, or double back, or whatever it is you want to do. And you would come to a complete stop with a pedestrian crossing there, a protected crossing, not just because of the light, but also by today's standards, there are also auditory crossing instructions. There are push buttons and so forth, much as we have in the downtown area, which we reconfigured about 3 years ago. Okay, so keep on going south. You stay in those two lanes southbound, and you stay in those two lanes if you want, one or the other, picking one or the other, all the way up to Lincoln Highway. One difference from the intersection at Sycamore Road that is in the interest of safety is you will notice there's not a lot you can do on a scale this size, and it's even a little smaller than what I was able to copy into your background. But you'll see this yellow circle that indicates a lane that's sort of surrounded. That's a protected left turn lane. There would also be hatching of yellow stripes in that. So if you want to, right now, if you are southbound, you've gone past the intersection of Sycamore Road, you come to Fisk Avenue, you want to make a left onto Fisk, you're kind of hung out there. Your vehicle is a little bit on a yellow marked area and a little bit off. So this gives you a protected place to wait and 2 lanes of traffic can continue right past you. You're not holding up a lane and somebody honking and, you know, what's the problem here? Okay, so really you go all the way up the Lincoln Highway. Now, let's go north. First of all, any questions about that? Okay. It's always been the case that it's in the northbound lane that you have to have, and I've called it here a Daytona moment. It's going to be somewhere. Right now, it's in a short block, basically from Fisk Avenue to the intersection with Sycamore Road. If you drive that tonight or tomorrow or sometime this week, you will see that the lane that magically becomes a right turn lane doesn't start until you get just past Fisk Avenue. Actually, that striping comes and hits the curb on the south side of the intersection of Fisk and First Street. So obviously, if you're trying to go a little bit further to the right, you'll end up in a yard somewhere. So if you're northbound right now and you want to turn onto Sycamore Road, from the time you get on off of Lincoln Highway and you're headed north, you want to get in the right side. And as you get to Fisk Avenue, as you can see here and currently, it's going to get wider. And you've done it once, you know it. If you've never done it, follow the arrows. That's the rules of the road, right? And there'll be signs up and they'll have to be better marked on the pavement. Let's back up now. Let's go from Locust Street north, because at this point it's a 4-lane section, right? So you're going north and you are in the left lane, northbound. You are going to start seeing some pavement markings saying this lane ends, or I'm not the engineer. There will be some very terse orders coming to you, and you'll be seeing street signs too, just behind the sidewalk, that say right lane through, or this way to Sycamore Road, or a combination of those instructions. But as you get further north past Oak and you're heading up to the intersection at Pine and Augusta, if you're in the left lane, you should turn left. Now, currently, people who are in that left lane will go straight, and then all of a sudden, they get across the intersection, they see these arrows. What's these arrows? I'm supposed to merge to the right? Well, there's a vehicle to my right. How am I going to do that? And that's the Daytona moment. Right now, you could get hung out to dry if you're on that inside lane. Or is that the outside lane, John? Outside. I always get that. Seems inside to me. So you're on the outside lane. You're on the center line lane. And so it's going to take a little bit of time. You know, people will need to educate themselves. But we have the same streetscape, the same curb-to-curb width. But with what we proposed here, you've got effectively 2.5 city-long blocks to make the judgment that right now you have to make in a short block, half a block. That's the premise. There is no way to remove the Daytona moment unless we're going to add more street space, but that's not it. And you know, we have very established properties on both the east and west side of this corridor, and there's not a lot of room to do something like that.
Is the state still paying 90% of the project?
Yes. But here's the thing. If we do nothing, we pay it all. We have to do something with a safety grant, because in good faith, they've taken safety money away from some project or a potential project and given it to us. So frankly, an impetus to try to find something that you will like, the community will like, the nearby residents will like, and that we can get our arms around and proceed.
Comments or questions? Yes, Alderwoman Larson.
So I understand why you're trying to make that a left-hand turn lane heading north on First to go onto Augusta. Can you make it so it's both with a left turn arrow, like also add, you know, lights that will, so then because sometimes traffic will be backed up through that whole block going straight, because everyone's like, I know some jerk's gonna turn left up here and I don't wanna be stuck behind them. So they're all in the right lane and they're blocking Oak or whatever, that it backed up. But if you knew that an arrow was coming so that those people could clear the intersection and people could still go straight, or does that screw up north of there?
Well, yeah, you'll run right into the left turn lane right across
Oh.
the street from you.
That wouldn't be good.
No. But here's the thing, right now, you're looking at arrows pointing you, as you're currently going north on First, and you've just hit the intersection with Augusta, and then you start seeing these arrows, and there's only about 6 of them. And that's way too late.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, we'd have to start, south of Oak, just saying, here's your time, let's do this. Now, is anybody ever gonna realize when they get there, oh, I wanna get to the right? Of course, some people will, and some people will not use caution, and some people will lurch to the right and not even look. But that can happen at any intersection. Let me tell you something that's very close to this at one of the most busy intersections in town. If you're westbound on Lincoln Highway, you're heading toward the intersection with 4th Street, you've just passed McDonald's, and you're now heading toward, you see the crossbucks and so forth, and now you have the same thing. You either have to turn left, which is to go south on 4th Street, or go straight ahead. And there's a little rise there, right? So you don't even know as you're going across if you're in the right, if you're lined up correctly with that westbound lane. That's worse than this. And that's a crazy intersection. You have to be mindful of everything all the time there, So I think it's not impossible, certainly. And hopefully this is better than the roundabout.
Council, Alderman Powell.
What's the timeline like to do something like that? How long
Depends-
does it disrupt the
Depends,
traffic?
it depends on how quickly we can move through the design phase. And at this point, we're just seeing conceptual drawings. They haven't begun to do the construction drawings, and that will take the rest of this year and into, hopefully we could go to bid in the spring. And we'd have to wait till school is no longer in session and then do a few things. Really only the only construction here is reconfiguring that intersection, which, as you might guess, we have to do under traffic, and that will not be another happy moment on First Street, but I don't know how else to do it. We can't just, overnight, just pull it out and put something back in, so.
Alderman Burbick.
I get passed driving in DeKalb more than I've ever been passed before. So just doing normal speed limit on city streets, someone races right by it. I'm looking at this Daytona moment, and I see this extra lane. I believe that will be viewed as a passing lane for all of those wanting to get past you heading north on First Street. So unless there was a concrete wall down the middle or spike strips or something like that, that's going to be an invitation to figure out a way for people to pass, and it's everywhere.
Well, it'll be striped heavy with, in yellow. Some people use that, as you know, if you drive up on Sycamore Road, some people are using that as their safety lane. That's a 5-lane section, not unlike some portions here. And they make a left turn, and they're going in the opposite direction, and they just drive about 5 or 10 miles an hour, waiting for 2 lanes of traffic to pass so they can zip in. So nothing is perfect. We could, if we put anything there, the trouble is that now you've created an actual hazard for the motorists, because they'll drive over it. They'll impale themselves or whatever. We talked about that very thing.
It's going to invite passing for sure. So then what we're saying in a roundabout way is that we are not allowed to use any of the school district property to enhance this intersection from a safety perspective. So are we restricted to the street space that we see now or in this image?
If you look, there is a little bit of, there's sort of a clip of the pointed end of the Clinton Rosette property, which we have discussed with the school staff in the last couple of weeks. And you can see a dotted line that shows where that cut would have been had there been a roundabout. It's much deeper and more northward. But it's a little bit of a clip, and that's in order, again, to try to get Sycamore Road to come in a little closer to, it's about a 60-degree angle now than not. And ultimately, said there's no perfect solution, but we feel this is safer than what we have.
Thank you.
Alderwoman Zada.
Do we have any feedback from our new city engineer on which of the two plans is more closely aligned with best practices?
Well, since you asked. So, John Laskowski, our new city engineer, is in the audience tonight and has been primed for this. So, John, would you like to take a bow and also go up to the podium so you can be recorded? Now, John has been on board for 1 week today. He is no offense here, but he's drinking information through a fire hose right now. But he's coming up to speed on this and a bunch of other things that he's inheriting. So, John, I trust your judgment.
Yeah, I'm familiar enough with the project to say that I'd be dangerous to make a recommendation one way or the other, but I kind of support, with the limitations that we have with the land that we have, the solution that City Manager Nicholas presented right now. I think both solutions are have their unique challenges, and both also offer safety enhancements. In this case, you know, I can't say with certainty, but I think this is definitely an improvement over what's existing in the field right now.
Any other comments or questions? Yes, Alderman Smith.
So, Bill, I mean, it'll be minimal interruption to the, obviously, the intersection, but it's going to be a lot of paint. I mean, really. I mean, hopefully,
It's worth it.
I joke about that, but people follow the arrows. I think this will be a good solution to the problem. And signage. I'm looking at signage pushed all the way back down towards Lincoln Highway.
Yeah, we'd have to have the signage also alongside the road too, so people are seeing that. And then, guess what? We have some police cars. And we have a terrific chief and department who also, this would be, safety first, courtesy type patrolling in the early months if we get to the build stage. And so people understand this is what we expect, and then periodic patrolling in the area.
Well, I'd be willing to bet that 90% or more of the people travel this regularly are going to be the same people.
Regulars, yeah.
Once they get the flow down, and it's going to go really smooth.
But
So
so let's say it's August, third week in August, and we've got a lot of parents helping their students move into NIU dorms and just returning their young men and women to the area. They might not know it, and it's new to everybody when it's first open, you know. Right. So people are, but as I said, there's a busier. There are many. Actually, I was going to do a full survey, but once I saw that Lincoln Highway intersection, I thought that demands attention and care, and maybe because of the railroad, almost certainly, people are a little bit more alert, and they're not going to drive so crazily. But we see people roaring across that intersection too. So.
Alderman Carlson.
I just wanted to comment, because this has been going on for a year, and my background's traffic signals. I don't know if you remember me when we worked in North Aurora. And the real issue out there, so everyone understands it, it's the underground utilities as well. It pigeonholes you down to where you can't just dig and do whatever you want. So there's only a few options. This option I'm seeing is, to me, the better one because of the existing pipes, the existing ComEd poles that are over there. And if you saw on 4th Street, we installed these about 10 years ago, the rapid fire beacons that flash during school hours. They're actually on a program that you can set a year in advance, have every single teachers conference every day. If you put those flashing beacons saying there's a school zone, maybe even a NIU to that side, this is the best option I've seen.
Any other comments or questions?
Yeah.
Nope, sorry, sir, it's our meeting. Yep.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions, council? Boy, so much conversation earlier this year. Amazing how, not a lot now. No, I'm not saying with us, it's just kind of, the contrast is stark. All right, I guess you heard what you
Well,
need, city manager.
So where I am, to correct me if I'm wrong, is you generally like the concept. I think the next step is we get into construction design, and we can do another
Yep.
presentation here as we get that.
Perfect.
You can see something blown up that makes a little more sense to you, showing an intersection or what have you. And the next time we'll also have John in tandem with the engineers from WBK, and I have to say they're outstanding. There's a reason why they're chosen for this design work. They're a prize-winning firm out of St. Charles, and they've been at it for a long time.
And for the record, the Elwood House is safe, and we're not going to eminent domain
No
any
touch.
houses, right?
No touch.
Okay, just want to make sure. All right, moving on to agenda item J, resolutions.
Thank you,
Number
John.
one, resolution 2025-089, authorizing the purchase of 3 medium-duty paratransit buses based on the State of Illinois bid contract pricing through Midwest Transit Equipment Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $416,181. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderwoman Larson. City manager.
Thank you. There's really a very good and detailed background report from Mike Newenkirchen, our transit manager. I summarized it. There are a number of paratransit vehicles in our fleet, 20 to be exact. Most of them are aging. We're trying to replace some of them. We have enough grant support to replace 3 of the larger ones. These will be fully funded with federal grant funds, and we recommend your approval.
Council, questions, comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Carlson.
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Verbic.
Yes.
Walker.
Yep.
Zazada.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Yes.
Smith. Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2025-089 passes. Number 2, Resolution 2025-090, authorizing the purchase of one 2025 Chrysler Voyager ADA accessible minivan based on the State of Illinois bid contract pricing through Southern Bus and Mobility in an amount not to exceed $71,502. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Carlson, seconded by Alderman Verbic. City manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Same pot of money, a different type of vehicle, a smaller, much smaller vehicle, but the minivan is also used for regular trips to pick up fewer people, obviously, maybe it can seat, I think, up to 6, but not typically do we have that many. And so no local funds are required, and we recommend your approval.
Council, questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Powell.
Yes.
Verbic.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Zazada.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2025-090 passes. Number 3, Resolution 2025-091, authorizing the drilling of a test well by Prairie State Water Systems Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $44,900. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Zazada, seconded by Alderman Powell. City manager.
At the last regular meeting, the council approved an agreement with Belvedere Farms, which set up terms for the drilling of a test well on their West Lincoln property. This particular resolution now provides for the actual drilling of that test hole by Prairie State Water Systems. Andy Rye went out to the market. We got a number of bids. Prairie State was the lowest bid by a little, $44,900, under $45,500 by the nearest competitor. So we recommend that we proceed with this. Time is of the essence, and we'd like to get this drilled and figure out where we are before it's just too frigid out there to do much.
Absolutely. Questions or comments, council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Verbic.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Zazada.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2025-091 passes. Number 4, Resolution 2025-092, authorizing a grant of easement to Commonwealth Edison Company along Barber Green Road adjacent to certain city-owned parcels. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Carlson, seconded by Alderwoman Larson. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Some of you were probably wondering, why do we have property north of Barber Green and what's it for? If you look in your background, you see south of Barber Green, there's an area that's farmed. That is the part of the route to runway 220, our long northeast-southwest runway. And just north of Barber Green, we also have some equipment directing planes on that flight path. And it happens that that property is going to be involved in ComEd's extension of some new power, and we welcome the power. An increase from the 2-phase capability that's there now to a 3-phase capability, and it's also for other purposes than our airport. But they need an easement to go across our property, and we're recommending that easement to you tonight.
Council, questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Apologies. Walker,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2025-092 passes. Number 5, Resolution 2025-093, authorizing the purchase and installation of a Caterpillar D400 GC diesel engine generator at the West Lincoln Highway Water Treatment Plant from Altifer Industries Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $349,792. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Powell, seconded by Alderman Carlson. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a positive for several reasons. One is that the quote before you tonight is significantly below what we thought this installation might cost. As you can see, the Altifer quote was just under $350,000. We had thought it could be over $500,000. The other reason this is a positive is that once this emergency pumping capacity or power support is installed and running, it increases by over 3 million gallons a day our emergency pumping capacity from 6.7 million gallons per day to over 9.7 million gallons per day. And putting that in context, 9.7 million gallons a day is the maximum that we might pump if required to do so because of the demands on our system. We can actually do 12 million, but that would be for a big fire and for 3 to 4 hours where it's all pumps running full hot, towers draining and so forth. But obviously we have to be aware of the wear and tear on our equipment and also the other needs in the system. So this pretty much closes the book. As the system grows and as we have more facilities added, we can look at more emergency power for the pumping capacity, but this is what we've been working toward for about 5 years.
Council, any comments or questions? All right, roll call, please.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Resolution 2025-093 passes. Number 6, Resolution 2025-094, authorizing subrecipient agreements in the amount of $60,100 with local agencies for Community Development Block Grant Program, Year 2025, Public Services, funding from April 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2026. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Zazada, seconded by Alderman Verbic. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. We're the beneficiary of this grant program that has for a long time come through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. We have been receiving anywhere from $380 to $150,000 a year, and we divide this in different ways. One component under the HUD guidelines is that we can use up to 15% of it for what's considered public services, and as opposed to, say, private rehab, demolition, that type of thing. And there's a process every year that we go through to identify the recipients, and the recipients in the chart on page 10 in your background at Children's Learning Center, the Elder Care Services, Hope Haven, Safe Passage, and Voluntary Action Center have pretty consistently been served by this part of the HUD program, the CDBG program. But we do this in kind of fits and starts every year because we have our budget, which is final in December of the previous year, and it takes a while, and even under the best of times, for us to learn what we're actually getting from HUD. And this year there have been some delays in finding out what that is. Now that we know, we got a little bit more, thankfully. We're up to 15% of the 400,000 and change that we are getting from HUD this year. The 15% comes to a little over 60,000. So we had to sprinkle a little bit more on the agencies. They're well aware these are not major additions, but it's in a proportional way. And we're trying to actually fund specific numbers, so it's not a perfect proportion going up and down as you go across these five. But anyway, I appreciate what we've been able to do on this, and we recommend your approval tonight.
Comments or questions, council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Abstain.
Carlson,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes,
Yes.
7-0.
Resolution 2025-094 passes. Moving on to number 7, Resolution 2025-095. For the record, we'll need to make a modification maybe, because it says 2095-095. But this is Resolution 2025-095, correct?
Correct.
Okay, approving the purchase of one 2025 Ford Ranger XL from Brad Manning Ford in an amount not to exceed $37,998. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Larson, seconded by Alderman Powell. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. We went through the usual process when we're purchasing vehicles. We went out and looked for 3 bids. The state purchase bid, which is usually through Morrow Brothers, you're familiar with that company, was at $38,863. Usually Brad Manning Ford doesn't bid on this because they can't rival that, but they happen to have some vehicles on their lot that were just slightly below, and it's a home business, and so we recommend to you the low bid from Brad Manning Ford, $37,997.70.
Love it. Council, questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes,
Yes.
8-0.
Resolution 2025-095 passes. Moving on to agenda item K, ordinances, second reading, we have none. Agenda item L, ordinances, first reading. Number 1, ordinance 2025-043, authorizing a First Amendment to annexation agreement regarding the donation of property for the DeKalb Transit Center. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderwoman Zazada. City Manager.
Thank you. Back in late 2013, just about exactly 12 years ago, the City Council adopted an ordinance which approved an annexation agreement for what's known as the Iron Gate development, which is a good part of the land south of Bethany, all the way down to West Dresser and properties that are fronting on the north side of West Dresser. And at the time, a part of the annexation agreement was the possibility of a donation of land that would provide the access northbound from West Dresser up into this Iron Gate development. There is in your background just a very rough aerial showing what that looks like, and don't have it. In any case, at this time, we have a lot more information, knowing the size and scope of the transit center project, and we need access. Oh, there it is. Thank you very much. So this is West Stresser here, and there are two like fingers that come down from this otherwise pretty bulky, pretty large Iron Gate development, and they both come down to West Stresser. And the west side, that particular access point is still important to us, and that would lead people into the transit center that's right now awaiting approval from higher federal authorities so we can get going next year. And we only need 3 acres in order to invoke our donation from the original developer, and as part of the development agreement. We had to notify them that we're ready to do something, and so we've done that. We've let them know that 3 acres is fine. It gives us the width we need to get up into this property of ours. But it also provides some room for a connection for a bikeway and a pedestrian way that would connect to the back of the health center, the county health center. So it fits. It's the right time to do this, and we recommend your approval.
Council, Alderman Verbeek.
So then, you mentioned the consideration of funding the project in its entirety. Shouldn't this wait until we know that it will be funded? In other words, I'm not sure who's deciding whether or not this project gets funded, but should it wait, or does it?
No, the funding is in our control now,
Okay.
up to $20 million, so, and a little bit more. And so the plans need to be approved at the higher level because of the federal money that's being used.
Okay.
And as soon as we get that go-ahead, we're off and running.
Great, thank
We'll
you.
have to go to bid, obviously, get a general contractor and go through contracts, which will come back to the council at some point.
Any other comments or questions, council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Carlson,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes,
Yes.
8 ayes.
Ordinance 2025-043 passes on first reading. I would take a motion to waive second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Zazada, seconded by Alderman Powell. Any comments or questions on that? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
sorry, Larson,
Yes.
Smith? Yes again.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. Second reading has been, oh, forgot Justin Carlson.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Yes.
No, got it.
All right, with that, second reading has been waived for ordinance 2025-043. Number 2, ordinance 2025-044, approving the final plat of the DeKalb Gas re-subdivision for 802 South 4th, Amico Food Market. Can I have a motion to bring that to the floor?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Carlson, seconded by Alderman Powell. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Back in early August, at the first meeting in August, the council approved the rezoning of the southeast corner of South 4th and Taylor from GC General Commercial to the Planned Development Commercial District to accommodate an Amico gas station and convenience store. That ordinance also approved a preliminary development plan. It's a small site. It's less than an acre. Required the submittal in addition of a final plat of re-subdivision, and that's what's before you tonight, because there's been some more conversation and concerning access and so forth. James Huss, who is an engineer for Amico, is here in case you have some very specific questions about such things as access. But the Planning and Zoning Commission reviewed this plat of re-subdivision. a copy of which was attached to your agenda tonight. And they did so just last week, and by unanimous vote recommended your approval. We recommend the Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendation to you.
Council, questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Verbic.
Yes.
Walker.
Yes.
Zazada.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Ordinance 2025-044 passed on first reading. I would take a motion to waive second reading.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderman Powell. Or comments or questions, council? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Walker.
Yes.
Zazada.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Verbic.
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
Second reading has been waived for ordinance 2025-044, so that means you can go forth and do. Super excited to have you. All right, moving on to agenda item M, reports and communication, council member reports. Alderman Verbic, you want to kick us off?
Just like to extend a great deal of thanks to everyone in Ward 6 as I continue to walk the ward. You're all doing a terrific job of keeping your storm drains clean. So keep up the great work. Thank you.
Alderman Carlson.
A couple of weeks ago, I was proud yet again to don the outfit and portray Johan de Kelb, the Baron, for the Corn Classic. I don't know if many of you went. I think it was the best Corn Classic I've been to. The weather was great, huge, large attendance, and I got to give a shout out to DJ Chris because I told him he's doing the announcements from now on. He just demoralized me. So, and then last week I went to McCabe's grand reopening. The last time I was there was 27 years ago. I had hair and my whole life in front of me, and I ended up here. It was awesome, though. I love a lot of the old places that are reopening in DeKalb, and that shows what the council has done and what the city is doing. That sat dormant for almost 3 decades, and now it's open and the dance floor is going. Just keep up the good work, everybody. It's great reliving the memories I had.
Alderwoman Larson.
Just a couple of things. Great NIU homecoming and Corn Classic and the leaves in the gutters because it doesn't take much rain when we've got leaves there. But yeah, everybody went through downtown this weekend and it was packed. I mean, you couldn't find a parking spot, so that was awesome.
Okay. Alderwoman Zazada.
No report.
Alderman Smith.
2 things. Welcome, John. Long time no see. So, and second is I attended the open house at the fire station the other day, and with the push-in of the new truck, I don't think there's a lot of push-in, but that's a heavy beast. But anyway, congratulations, Chief.
Alderman Powell.
No report.
Alderman Walker.
No report.
Definitely welcome to John Laskowski. Super excited to have you on board. It's going to be great to have that connection that we can pick up the phone, call when we got a question. So just great to have you. Also went to a IMEC and IMA event. That's the Illinois Manufacturers Association and the Illinois Manufacturers Excellence Center at the Suter Company. I know it's Sycamore, but they asked me to come because they employ a lot of people, and a lot of their employees work in the city of DeKalb. And the Suter Company is one of the most incredible companies I've ever been around. The way they invest in their people is setting the bar for so many companies here in the city of DeKalb. So it was an honor to go and recognize them because it was their 100th anniversary. 100 years the Suter Company has been in business. Also participated with City Manager Nicholas with the DeKalb Park District Master Planning Session. So we got to sit down and just talk about things in DeKalb we'd love to see the Park District be able to provide. A reminder also, I think there's still a bunch of tractors on the road that this is harvest time, so we want to make sure, give them a little grace. I know everyone's in a hurry and they got to get somewhere, but when you're behind a tractor, there's a lot going on, so just be kind and pass when you can, when it's safe. Also went to Florentino's Char House. If you haven't been, oh my gosh, you got to go. Just thinking of McCabe's reopening, here's another spot that reopened, and once the pizzeria opens, that's it. I mean, downtown is packed, which is phenomenal. So it's just really cool to see the excitement and see how many people, like Alderwoman Larson said, just attend downtown. And then, yes, the DeKalb Corn Classic was a smash. Great event. We had over 140 more runners. I think it was 133 actually, more runners than we did the previous year. And then working with Taste of DeKalb afterward, it's just an amazing experience. So I highly recommend you. Last Sunday, every year in September, come on down to the Corn Classic and just enjoy it. It's live music, a bunch of stuff going on. And also Back Alley Market, my gosh. That thing, it's just amazing how many vendors they get and how many people show up and attend that. It's just incredible to watch the flow of traffic go back and forth, and then just all the vendors getting to be able to show off their wares, which is really cool. And I got to commend the downtown merchants for putting that on. They do an amazing job. And with that, City Manager, do you have anything?
Thank you. Just a
Yeah.
couple quick things. Obviously, I welcome John Laskowski, and I should also mention to you that he will report directly to Andy Rye, our Public Works Director, and that's a pair to draw to. They together will be a very solid, provide very solid leadership to not just annual street maintenance, but the variety of things that our public infrastructure presents to us every year that are challenges and need to be solved for our residents. So I'm very happy to see those two working together. And just one other thing, in connection with engineering duties since April of this year, he declined to come and take a bow because he's a very modest man. But Kevin Bungie of CES Engineering did a very, very strong and exceptional job for us, and we're very grateful to him. And some members of his staff who helped him, but mostly it was him showing up at meetings every week and walking through neighborhoods and old industrial areas and commercial areas and helping us to solve problems which inevitably arise every year that don't make a council agenda but are important to the people that they touch. So many thanks to him as well.
Excellent. All right, moving on to agenda item N, executive session. I would take a motion to hold approval, or motion for approval to hold an executive session meeting to discuss executive session minutes as provided for in 5 ILCS 120/2 C21.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Larson, seconded by Alderman Powell. Roll call, please.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
8 ayes.
All right, we are now in recess, everybody. And if you don't know what that means, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Good night, everybody. It was great seeing you.